On January the 12th, 1910, Sir Railton Dixon and Company launched from their Cleveland dockyards in Middlesbrough the fine screw steamer Ramsgarth, built to the order of R&J Rear of Liverpool, Cardiff and Southampton. 76 metres in length, the Ramsgarth had a large steel house amidships which contained a saloon and accommodation for the captain, officers and engineers, with a chart room on top, above which was a wheelhouse and a pilot bridge. The crew were berthed in the forecastle. By mid-February 1910, SS Ramsgarth was ready for her sea trials. The trial went well under the command of Captain Ralph Johnson, and she was taken straight away to be loaded with a cargo of coal at the Tyne. After 6 years with R&J Rear, the Ramsgarth was put up for sale. In mid-November 1916, she was bought by the South Metropolitan Gas Company of London. The Ramsgarth didn't have much time with the gas company though. On the 28th of November 1916, while under the command of 39-year-old Tom Appleton, with his crew of 19, which consisted of British, Greek, Japanese and Italians, he found himself in the sights of U-boat captain Oberlieutenant Wilhelm Furbinger. It was Second Officer Percy Hilson Walk who spotted a small steamer in the distance that appeared to be in trouble. This was either the SS Alert or the SS Allison, both sunk on the same day as the SS Ramsgarth by the same U-boat. He called the master to see what he could make of it, and together they examined the scene through their binoculars. The ship seemed to be blowing off clouds of steam, and there was a lot of activity around the lifeboats. Suddenly they saw a lifeboat pull clear and decided that they were going closer and help the men out. The master was about to give the order to alter course when he spotted something else. Protruding from just behind the far side of the steamer was part of a U-boat. He immediately ordered the engines to be put full ahead and told the second mate to get away quickly. Furbinger in UB-39 was sharp. He had already spotted the Ramsgarth and his gunners were taking aim at her. Several shells were fired and one eventually hit the steamer on the starboard side. Captain Appleton knew that he was in trouble. The enemy gunners had found the range, and worse still, the submarine was catching them up rapidly. He realised he had no chance of escape and ordered the ship to heave to, telling his crew to make for the boats and get clear. The German commander ordered the steamer's crew aboard his submarine whilst the boarding party used their boat to plant bombs on the Ramsgarth. It was done quickly, and a few minutes later the steamer sank. Having got their boat back, the crew set about rowing for the shore, making Worthing Pier safely later that day. In the early days of World War I, it was a more gentlemanly affair for the U-boat sinking merchant ships, telling the ship's crews to get into their lifeboats so that the U-boat crews could then go aboard the ships with scuttling charges to sink them rather than using their expensive torpedoes. By the end of 1916 though, and after the introduction of Q-ships, the U-boats kept their distance and gave no warning. So it's surprising Furbinger sank the Alert, Allison and Ramsgarth whilst allowing all the crews to get away safely. Well, Kurtz dropped the shot exactly where he said he was going to drop it, right in the midships, right next to the boilers. Two single-ended 10-foot long boilers. Jamie's just sent the shot away. I don't know what that wheel was, it's something to do with the engine. This is the engine by Richardson and Westgarth and Co. 3-cylinder triple expansion engine. He's just gone over the low pressure, medium pressure, and now he's coming to the first boiler, first cylinder rather, which would be the high pressure. Everything's laying over on its right hand side. The ship's gone right over onto its starboard side, so those boilers have rolled out and the engine's laying over on its right hand side. These are all the connecting rods and pistons from the piston connecting rods. And that'll all be flying up and down when it's going along at full chat under steam, which is all connected there to the crankshaft, I'm assuming. I'm not very good with engines, but I'm assuming that's all the crankshaft, and it connects to the prop shaft that will spin it. And that's the prop shaft there pointing away towards the stern of the engine. It's quite handy if you're doing it in low visibility. If you just follow that up, you're not sure where you're going. If you find the engine and find that, and then just keep going, just keep following that, it'll take you down to the stern. Quite a lot of destruction obviously from when they blew it up, and the fact that it's been laying on the bottom for a long time. So prop shaft there's split. Like I say though, it's pointing the way, so if you just follow down the shaft, then you'll come to the other part of it. Which is there. That's one of the beds that the prop shaft would have been sitting on originally, and it goes down into this prop shaft tunnel. Apparently that was 9 foot across originally, so you can see how much it's all been crushed and twisted up. Yeah, we're just coming down. It's quite a bit of broken wreckage. It's like you can't really tell what anything is. It's just part of the hull. We're coming onto the aft winches now. I think there's 2 of these aft winches. That's the first one. I think that's the other one, unless I'm filming the same one again. Jamie's found a hose reel sitting there on its A-frame. Bit of fish porn for Kurt. He likes his fish. I think that's probably where the stern mast would have come out of there, out of that circular part. Some scallywags just dumped their boat battery over the side. Jamie showing his displeasure. More fish porn for Kurt. We're still making our way up towards the stern at the moment. I think Jamie's just found the other bit of missing prop shaft that's fallen down there. I think that's what it is anyway. He was quite excited about seeing it. Spare anchor that's laying not too far away. Just want to just see one of the flukes sticking up. You just see the shaft of it there poking up with the ring on top. Being pointed out there by my lovely assistant. That's another roll of wire perhaps. Now we're up onto the stern proper. It's like the bulkhead, and just on the top of the screen there you'll see the flat deck with a mooring bollard on there. More fish porn for Kurt. I don't know whether I kept filming the same fish or what, but yeah, he kept making an appearance, if it is the same one, following us around. Yeah, so he's just going up and disappearing onto the deck. And that's looking inside the stern. That's one of the ladders that will take you up and down through the hatchways. We're just swimming around the stern of the ship now. That's the prop shaft that we was following from the beginning. So obviously the propeller's now gone. I think it had a 13-foot 4-bladed iron prop on there originally. Someone's had it away. I think that's probably what's left of the rudder laying down on the sand. I think so, unless that's, I'm not 100% sure, unless that's part of the another part of the prop shaft, or that was part of the rudder post. But we're swimming back up now over the top of the stern. So we're up onto the deck now. It's right over on its right hand side. I mean, it looks flat at the moment, but it's not. It's right over on its right hand side. It's just the way I videoed it, and it's almost vertical. So this is the steering quadrant. You're looking at the top of the rudder post and all the steering parts. It's still got all the chains on there that would have moved it when you're turning the helm. Yeah, you can see part of the chains there that connect it, and that's a steering quadrant. Hopefully I'll pull back and you'll see it a bit better. We've both only dived this wreck once. This is the first time we've done it, so it's quite possible we've missed a few things. Yeah, you can see the steering quadrant there a little bit easier. Yeah, that's that fish again. He's following us about all around the wreck. He's gone back into the stern. Yeah, so we're making our way forward, back over that bit of old prop shaft again, bit of trawl net that's all caught up around the collapsed hull. Yeah, so swimming forward. I think there's some stuff over to our right hand side, but it's all just scattered wreckage. I don't know what he's pointing out here. I don't know what that is. Yeah, some quite large pieces of the hull. Not that interesting. The main part of this wreck is the stern and the bow. Well, probably around the engines as well, and these boilers. 3 furnace boilers. Working pressure, I think it was 180 pound working pressure. Here he is again. I think he wanted to show me the boiler around the back. I'm sure you know what this is. This is the Cochrane patent vertical multi-tubular boiler, otherwise known as the donkey boiler, which would have fired up in port just to work all your winches and keep everything on board going without firing up the main boilers. Would have stood upright originally. Obviously everything's fallen over, so now laying down. Couple of mooring bollards. We're now making our way up towards the bow, so we're coming up to the forward winches. Poor old lobster. He's obviously just done his shell. Nice and lovely blue colour. I'm sure he appreciated that. I think that's probably part of the forward mast there, just swimming over there. This is the other forward winch. So 2 winches, aft and 2 inches forward. Yeah, we're coming right, a bit more hull to swim over, and then you come up to the bow section. I think this is probably the highest point of the wreck. You can see some chain there all sort of bundled up on the bottom there, and it goes down. It's a bit hard to point out really, but it goes down into a hawser that's over on its right hand side, which I think is that. And you're looking at the top of the starboard anchor, but obviously it's all down in the sand, so you can't see it. It's going down into the hawser pipe. You're sort of looking at the beam that going across there. I mean, that would have been the deck. Obviously there'd be wooden deck beams. There's a ladder going up and down through the hatchways, and there's a hatch that you would go down through. So you have a hawser pipe on the port side, so it's still in situ. I think that's probably been, it's right up the front, it's probably the anchor winch. You just saw the top of the anchor, portside anchor, that's going into the inside of the ship, and there's obviously the anchor hanging on the outside of the ship. The tide was picking up a little bit, and I was trying to swim back to get a shot of the bow with the anchor hanging there, but I was struggling against the tide a bit. I think we'd racked up about 20 minutes deco at this point. Jamie was having kittens, wanting to go back up. Kurt was wondering where we were. But a few swimming around down by the engines and the boilers, come across this. And it's a shame. I think the Ramsgarth was identified by the bell in about 1979, which is a shame really, because you've got the steering boss there that's got a nice brassy hub on it with Ramsgarth written on it and a little picture of a rose. It was lovely to see that. Yeah, it's fantastic it's still there. Hopefully it'll still be there after people have seen this video. Don't go and nick it, but Jamie didn't nick it, it's still there. He just tapped off some of the rubbish so you could see it. Yeah, so that was the dive, and then once we come back up, Kurt wanted a few pictures of his boat, so we was in the water and taking some pictures of his boat while he was doing some flybys.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, thank you. Thoroughly enjoyed it.